What is up, everybody? How's it going this fine evening? If you're new around here, this is a paintball channel about paintball stuff. It's likely you're not new around here. We have speakers are on. We have a couple things I'd like to cover tonight. Last weekend, NXL Texas wrapped up. I'm still not sure if I should say it was in Fort Worth or Dallas. I personally am going to say, I don't know what that is. I'm personally going to say Dallas because no one really understands Fort Worth. Fort Worth is a suburb of Dallas? I don't know. I don't know how we're going to say that. So we'll kick the tires around a little bit, waste a little bit of time. Then we'll, jump into some things that I'd like to talk about. I think we have, let's see here. We're going to switch to this camera view real quick. Maybe get a glimpse of what we want to talk about. And there's like 5 or 6 things over there. And then maybe expound on some other things that we, happen today. So we'll see what's happening. Again, give it a little bit of time. Let's say hello to people. Well, let's zoom. Let's make the browser, our chat, a little bit bigger so I can read people. Joseph, Jose, Braden, Derek, Hill, Braden, Aiden, Adam, Ellis. Okay, how are you guys this evening? I hope well. Eddie, we're never hanging out. I tried to come down there this weekend. Or last week. I'm going to come down Thursday in 1 week, though. That's the goal. Although I said that like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening, dude. My life is a turbulent... something. Pewds. Send Pewds. You're getting an Etha too. What should I know? You should just go have fun with the thing. That's all. Just go have fun and play some paintball. That's all. Everyone's telling me where they're from. I like it. We have a Miami... Yeah, Miami's okay. San Diego, yeah. Just type where you're from. I'm curious where everyone's from. We're gonna see if we can have anyone cool going on. Anyone playing anywhere, anybody from anywhere cool. I was trying to read something. Let's start with the Alex Goldman thing. We will. I'll talk about Alex. He's somewhere in here. I don't know where. We got a little clip of that. I don't want to talk about that. So nowhere cool. Australia, you're the winner so far. Shrek Dog. Shrek Dog from Australia. Someone said Siberia. That's not cool. No, Sebring, Ohio. Lots of Ohio's. Cool. South Carolina. Still Australia. You're still winning it. Yeah, still Australia. Australia is still winning. Sacramento does not win. Although it's probably cool in some of these other places. Spartanburg, South Carolina. That's kind of cool. Spartanburg's actually not a bad place. Duluth, Minnesota, and you got 9 inches of snow last night. Oh, God. That's like today. I was watching the Giants game. San Francisco Giants playing the Colorado Rockies. Major League Baseball in Denver. 34 degrees, I think it was. Snowing at like 1 in the afternoon playing baseball. It was crazy. Malaysia, Colombia, I still think Australia is cool. Man, Malaysia is pretty cool. So is Colombia, though, too. Anyway, okay. So we're going to jump into some topics that I said I wanted to talk about. Now that we know where everyone's from, we're switching to that view. Okay, so as I said last week, NXL, okay, a couple days ago, NXL Las Vegas, not NXL Las Vegas, NXL Texas wrapped up. I'm a little bit off camera. And there's some, topics we can talk about in this thing we call Pro Paintball. And kind of the first thing I want to, maybe not talk about, but just to show this wicked-ass shot. So this will loop a lot. So you can see whoever that is in back center comes out and just gets a very good snapshot on that left wedge. It'll happen again here in a second. Just boom, and they traded too, which is kind of cool. So that wedge guy really came out and like one balled. Whoever that was, I don't know. I'm not sure who that was. And I didn't watch this NXL Texas tournament. I didn't necessarily watch the entire event either. So I don't know. Friday, got up super early. No, I get up like 5 a.m. I get up at like 6 a.m. all the time anyway. And that's what game started. So I was like, yeah, we'll watch. We'll watch some paintball. I don't know. It seemed really slow, and it just wasn't feeling it on Friday and had a lot to do. So I didn't necessarily watch all the games on Friday. So most of all these highlight things that I saw are going to come from stuff that happened on Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday. Okay, so I just thought that was a really cool shot. It's hard to see in this video, but it's kind of cool anyway. So this was just a really cool bounce shot. And I was weird in this, and I kind of like didn't do this right. So, see, there we go. So you can kind of see that bounce shot, how I put that arrow, and then there's that line. So you might be able to see the paint coming here. That's a crazy bounce shot. So I slowed this footage down a little bit, and I'm gonna let this re-watch this thing. You can see all that paint come in. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are watching this on phones, and you might not be able to see it that well. So, bam, there's that shot right there. So I think that his mirror can shoot that, or the tower that's a little bit on the inside. And it's just cool. It's a neat angle that we typically don't get to see. So, it's just cool. I don't know, nothing too crazy. But again, I kind of feel it like that angle, not like that angle, but like, I don't know, your guys' screens, you just might not be able to see it that well. So this is a bunch of stuff. So I think for sure the best matches we saw were matches that were in the like Sunday semifinals, quarterfinals. And without question, the best match that I've seen in, I don't know, at least 2 years. It's hard for me to like really remember back and remember all the games, but definitely one of the better matches I've seen in a long time was the Russian Legion Impact match that was in the I think it was the semifinal game. Either way, it was not the finals.
Well, we know they're going to go for the record of 29 seconds.
The last 2 points.
Yeah, if I was Impact,
so
I
if you
would've
can
gone
see
5 guys
here,
at home.
Impact is up by 2 points with only 30 seconds
They get
left.
5 out alive. Russians are coming hard. 2 through the middle. Impact loses their first player on the trio side.
Okay, we're gonna redo this one because I didn't realize I had the audio with this. So I'm gonna turn this back and we're gonna replay this one. So this, yeah, like I said, this is Impact Russian Legion in the semifinals.
For the record of 29 seconds.
Yeah, if I was Impact, I would have gone 5 guys at home. Just never stop shooting our guns. But they don't need to. They get 5 out alive. Russians are coming hard. 2 through the middle. Impact loses their first player on the trio side.
Sergey's going to get killed. So does Smotrov.
Here comes a penalty on Impact in under a minute, which should be a swing.
No, it's a minor penalty.
Minor
penalty.
Another minor.
Yeah, so there's going to be a point scored.
So this point right here, Impact ended up getting 2 penalties, and then they won the point, and Russian Legion ended up getting put time back on the clock.
The Russians.
That's why they have that 12 seconds here.
Here we go. Long-awaited last point, and here come the Russians
Flying
as
V.
they go on a full send with the flying V as Smotrov is the
And
one.
he gets it. He
behind
gets it. He gets
does
it.
get it in
He
time.
gets it.
Unbelievable. The Russians able to dive in and hit that buzzer. A triumphant
That was amazing.
Alexander Burtnikov.
Wow.
Alexander Burtnikov able to sneak through there on the staggered attack, and he's getting checked out by the referee. Is he clean? That's the big question right now, boys.
He's clean.
Dave
It's
Baines
the rest
is
of the
flipping
guys.
out.
Thumbs up,
Wow.
Dave Baines, and the rest of Impact losing his mind. Rich
just said
is
it.
just cackling up here. Rich, you were wrong.
Yes!
You were wrong. They
I'm
did
so
have the
happy.
time.
Yeah, so it's cool. I'm gonna let this. We'll let this like. Did I not edit that well? I don't know, maybe I didn't edit that well. I'm gonna let this loop, and you guys keep watching that. So it's crazy. And one thing that I kind of notice in these matches too is when Alexander Bridnikov, he was the last guy in that second point we watched here that actually hit the buzzer, and those are the refs that were checking him out. One thing that I notice is when he gets really excited and is jumping up in the air and stuff, that's like a real like emotion for him. He's not a guy that's out there yelling and going crazy and stuff like that. So when we see him like jump and get all excited and stuff like that, it's for sure a like real happy emotion. And one thing I think is kind of fun too is we'll watch like right in the end of this, when he goes to the pits, I've noticed after like something cool happens, he kind of like jumps into the net. So like watch after they check him and he's like running to the pit area here. It's kind of funny. He like just jumps into the net. Jake, so a couple of you, I mean, there's probably a lot of you who've seen the, I don't know, headbutt J-Rab thing. We'll get to that. See how he kind of like hops into the net? I think it's funny. He did that multiple times at the event. So that match is absolutely friggin' amazing. So if you have a Go Sports account and maybe didn't watch a lot of these matches, certainly go find that Russian Legion Impact match. It is definitely worth watching. And one thing that's kind of frustrating with that is it's been now 4 days since that tournament, right? Quite a few days. And Go Sports have had quite a bit of time to be able to go back through that footage from certain matches and put little package highlight packages together. Fly just flew across. And it was kind of annoying not being able to, like, I don't know, find good footage from that. I would have liked to see more highlights from this match. That'd have been cool. So Alex Goldman, we talked about Alex Goldman. So this is Alex Goldman. So first, whatever, we'll just let this play out. We're going to turn the volume down this a little bit. No, we're not. We'll let it go.
It.
And X Factor looking pretty good here, and Archie Montemayor pumped up.
Whoa, and Mouse just headbutted Rainey. That's going to be
a major penalty. I cannot believe
100%.
Mouse.
Rainey ran
Mouse,
straight up to him.
What are you doing?
Rainey instigated that, but Mouse definitely just headbutted Rainey right there.
So a chirping that goes back and forth, but Mouse kind of lost his composure there as he was head checked.
Let's see this replay. Let's see if they
let's
actually
the
collide. Let's see if they collide. Oh, he really did.
Yeah,
wow.
He definitely headbutted him a bit, and then that's going to see a major penalty assessed on Alex Goldman, so they're going to lose one of their best players right now, and they are down by 2 points here. And we
Nick Laval comes walking off.
Okay, that's the beginning again. But again, I'll let this kind of like play out in the background. So headbutt, right? So there's kind of two things here. There's a little bit of a backstory. If you're not familiar with kind of what's going on here, there's this gold team or the yellow team Impact, and then this blue or this teal team San Antonio X Factor. That guy right there, Rainey Stanzak, for a number of years, I think 4 years, maybe 4 years, played for the other team, Impact. And that guy right there that kind of pushes him with his head, I don't know. Alex Goldman, we've been on that team forever, right? So they're buddies. And Rainey Stanzak is a talker, right? So Rainey likes to yell and talk and get it all crazy. And Alex is not. Alex is definitely a more reserved, quieter person. And I don't think he knows what to do in that situation, right? Rainey is supposed to be their buddy. I mean, he was on that team forever. He did get cut, so there's that. So Rainey has some sort of animosity. But Alex is that quiet guy, and I don't think that, like me, right, in that same situation where someone's talking hella shit to me, and I'm just not going to talk back. It's just stupid to talk, right? And Alex probably feels that way. He's like, why are we just talking? Do something about this. And I think, too, when he headbutts right there, Alex realizes, oh, shit, and then he kind of, like, walks away and leaves quickly. So he realized instantly what he did and should not have done that. So, I don't know. It's just two guys that really probably, I mean, have been friends forever and known each other for a very long time. Rainey's out there, they're trying to win, so he's trying to get in their heads, and it worked. Alex Goldman ended up getting suspended for the next match and wasn't able to play the next match, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, I don't think that, like, you know, obviously nobody got hurt in that exchange, but I don't know, we got, you know, there's got to be a rule somewhere, right? And one of the things that I had a problem with that whole deal, right? We'll just let this go. The problem that I had with this whole thing is not necessarily like the headbutt or I don't know, the punishment that was got or whatever. Was more so that, like, we have the reason this rule's in place, right? Is that so there's no physical contact, right? It's that easy. This is not a contact sport. We shouldn't be, like, purposely touching each other, ever. I mean, you can, like, run into each other going around a bunker, but you do not need to, like, punch people or, like, push people or whatever, right? There's just no point in it. And they have that rule in place so that we're not, you know, physically punching each other and, like, actually fighting. So that's why that rule's there. And what I didn't like is how in the booth when this was going on, they had Steve Rabikoff, Rich Telford, I was blinking there, and Matt Marshall. So them three were in the booth. And Rab So Steve Rabikoff and Rich Telford were both going back and forth like, oh, if you're going to headbutt somebody, make sure you get your money's worth. Make sure you really get a good headbutt in there and really hit him hard. It's like, no. That's like you're defeating the purpose of the whole thing, right? It's supposed to be, these rules are in place so we don't like physically hurt each other. And so that these players set role models for each other. And then having the announcers just say that he should like hurt him more. Like, I don't know. It's like, well, why do we have the rules then? Like if the objective is to just, you know, punch each other and like fight, then why are we doing this? So it's just, I didn't like how they were kind of like hyping it up and like telling them to fight more, and I don't know. That whole thing is just kind of annoying. And then, well, might as well. So speaking of announcing, a topic I also wanted to speak about was that I feel that, well, first say this. So I watch baseball quite often. I watch the San Francisco Giants specifically quite often. I won't sit down and watch, like, I don't know, the Braves play the Brewers, or, you know, just some random teams that I'm not really affiliated with. And one of the main reasons that I watch the Giants play baseball is the announcers, right? I feel that, like, over the years, I grew up listening to them, and they're very, very good. Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow are the two best TV announcers for baseball ever, maybe. They're amazing. So they're one of the reasons that I actually watch. And I feel that when Todd Martinez and Matt Marshall and, say, random special pro guests, like when Alex Frazier was in the booth, it was awesome. I think, like, I don't know, Ryan Greenspan, he comes into the booth. Chad Boucher, when he comes in, is always good. I think when they do that, when they stick with Matt Marshall and Todd Martinez together with random pro player, I think it is amazing. And I would have that on in the background all the time, right? I could listen to Todd and Matt talk about paintball for a long time. I like them. They're funny, they're knowledgeable, they're respectful, they're just good dudes. And I do think that when, like, Matt and Rich and Rab get in the booth, it's just kind of random and, like, kind of all over the place. Like, you have Matt Marshall trying to do a job and, like, talk about what's happening, and then he always gets, like, interrupted with some stupid nonsense joke that's got nothing to do with it. Like, I wrote down this to talk about because it was happening often. So there was a point when, like, Baltimore Revo, one of the guys got shot in the back of the head. And it's like, why does everyone keep getting shot in the back of the head when they go to this bunker? I don't know. And Matt was trying to explain it, and then Rich comes in and he's like talking about, like, team kills don't count, and, like, you joke. And it's like, well, I want to know what happened. He's always cutting him off. So I find that very annoying. I think if Rich just didn't try to joke as much, he could be very good. Because sometimes Rich is extremely insightful and does a very good job at, like, breaking down the game and just kind of, like, telling us about paintball and not trying to be funny. I do think at times Rich can be funny, but maybe, like, he's funny, we'll say half the time. Let's tone that back to, like, 10% of the time, or I don't know, just less.
Studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
I don't know what's going on there. Noises in the background. Chad, I much appreciate that super chat, sir. What'd you say? Bob Euchre? Yeah, Bob Euchre was awesome. So, yeah, also very, very good. That's probably true. You're a Brewers fan. Well, that's right. Like, so you're a Brewers fan and Major League starring Charlie Sheen fan. Well, yeah, I'm all of those things too. Well, besides the Brewers fan. Major League Baseball, all of them were good. Didn't they make, like, a third one that was, like, about the bees or something? Like a minor league team? It's awful. Anyway, Major League 1, Major League 2, I grew up on those movies. So they're amazing. But yeah, Bob Euchre is awesome. But the Giants announcers are awesome. I mean, they were in, like, they did the announcing for baseball often. But that, I think, is a very important thing. So what's also happening right now with, the Giants baseball team is Mike Krukow is, I don't know how old he is, maybe like 60s? He's probably 60-ish. And he has some crazy disease that, like, makes it so he can't walk. And I can guarantee you the Giants are freaking out right now because at some point he won't be able to go on all the road trips. and they have to get a good announcer because announcing is so important. It's more important than these teams winning almost. So I don't know. I really just want Matt Marshall and Todd Martinez in the booth all the time for Go Sports. I understand that is difficult for Todd because he is a coach of the Ironman too, but I don't know. I just kind of wish that we'd get them in the booth more often. Because like I said, I love it, man. I'm all about it when they're in there. Yeah. So if people ask questions and you like put a shitload of characters like emojis or some shit to try to be annoying to get my attention, I will do the opposite thing and just ignore you. It's like if you're like in a crowded area and everybody wants something and you're that loud person just being like super annoying. You're just gonna get ignored. Okay, what else do we have in here? So that's that. We'll get that going away. So also this week, you may have noticed, I don't know, maybe not, video 3 of the Autococker Build 3019 came out. That was yesterday. This is a bunch of B-roll from that video. So in that video, we talked about internals and pneumatics. Right there, we're adjusting the low pressure regulator, the LPR. That's the 3-way. The UFC version 2 3-way. I forget what UFC stands for. Flow? I totally forgot. Yeah, so there'll be a couple more of these videos. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how many more. Definitely at least one. The idea was that there was going to be a video about anodizing. So we were going to take this gun and get it anodized and like all that stuff. But we're not. I don't know what to say. So there was going to be a video all about anodizing, but I'm not doing that any longer. I don't know. We were supposed to. I was going to have a I don't know, video all about it, but we're not doing it anymore. So yeah, if you want, you can watch that. There is an info card right up there. There's like an eye. You can click that and it'll take you right to it. Or there's a link in the description to this video if you would like to watch that as well. Carl Owen says, I was a little disappointed in Heat. From the tournament, Houston Heat took, I don't know what place they even took. I have no idea. I do know that Russian Legion is very, very good. And they almost got beat by Impact that match. They almost got beat by Impact in that match right there, but they were able to pull it back with these 2 points. Yeah, Russians are super good. I was definitely expecting a, we'll say, closer match in the finals. I think that would have been nice. But AC Dallas just, like, annihilated themselves. I almost said they annihilated Russian Legion. But yeah, Russian Legion just destroyed AC Dallas. So, yeah, that was disappointing. I really would have liked to see, yeah, Heat got 4th, right? I would have liked to see 3rd or 4th. I would have liked to see a Heat Russian Legion match, because that would have been funny. Or a, what was the other one? X Factor Heat match. Those are the 2 that I would have liked to see. Those would have been fun to watch in the finals. I don't know. I say that would have been funny because a couple days ago, the Over the Top podcast came out that explained more so, well, not more so, completely explained this whole why Sergei Shlishnikov is no longer playing for Houston Heat. Mm-hmm. Something about New York Extreme. So I got some New York Extreme stuff on here. So I think we do, or did I not get it? I did not. Okay, we're gonna, hold on. We're gonna see if, why did I not get that video? Hold on. I don't know what I did. Yeah, I don't know. I had this thing up about Houston Heat. So Harris Hussein, who plays for Houston Heat, at one point during their Ironman match, absolutely lost his mind and was like following the refs off the field, yelling at them. It was extremely embarrassing. I don't know if I played on a paintball team that was associated with him. I could play for a paintball team that's associated with him. Shit's just embarrassing, man. It's crazy. Dylan, with that $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Minnesota checking in. Well, hello, Minnesota.
Studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
I don't know why that's playing over there. I don't know. It's much appreciated, sir. Keep up the videos, bud. I will try my best. Make paintball great again. That'd be good. Sure. Hussein plays for Heat. Did I say Extreme, or did I say Heat or not Extreme? I don't know what the hell I said. Hussein plays, yeah, Harris Hussein. He plays for New York Extreme, not Houston Heat. If I said that, I don't even know. Yeah, Mike Phillips said Aftermath just flashed and they are coming back to Earth. Yeah, I kind of feel that. Yeah. I think I picked Aftermath to get second this event. I was kind of a wild card randomness, like, let's just throw it out there and kind of see what happens. Yeah, there's no way they were going to get second place at this tournament, which is okay. I mean, whatever. It's not like it's a requirement they do good. We're going to pause that. There's some stuff going on here. I mean, I guess it is kind of a requirement that they do good, so. Yeah, but they're kind of like all these pro teams, right? Or semi-pro teams. I feel like they kind of come up and they don't know what to expect. And maybe they like throw some weird looks at the pro teams, and the pro teams are like, whoa. And like kind of like don't know what to expect from them. So they do well. And we kind of saw that with Elevation, their first couple of events. And then DMG the same way. And now all those teams are like kind of playing normal. Although this is only one event this is only the second event for Aftermath, so. So someone also said something about the new Bob Long gun being used. That is the new Bob Long gun being used by Tyler Harmon at practice on Thursday. There's a little bit of a closer up picture. Marcelo actually using it. So one thing we do know for sure is that Chad just gave a $5 super chat, so we're going to talk about Chad. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it, sir. You said you have enjoyed the 3019 videos. Good. That's the goal. Thank you. Did you design the intro card animation? God, no, I did not. Any NPL news? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't really know. I'm looking forward to seeing the editing in action. Well, thank you. Those videos, I actually was kind of worried about this third video because I crammed so much information into it. It was like jammed packed with things. So it was a lot. I did not design that intro. Nope, it's just a template. No NPL news. And yeah, I would like to see the editing of their matches as well. One thing that I did hear today, kind of talked about during that Over the Top podcast that had Justin Rabakov, Nick Laval, Chad Boucher, and Konstantin Fedorov in it. Nick was talking about how paintball would be cool if it was all edited and not shot and like shown in real time. And I kind of agree with that. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, this Field 1 gun, that, yes, is right there, the new Field 1 gun, the Force. Yeah, so we know a little bit about it, right? Like, we don't know what it looks like on the inside. We know that this is not a completed gun, and they worked really well. I mean, Dynasty didn't really have any problems with the guns, and they're all prototypes. So those are not working prototypes. And apparently I don't know. Apparently, what is going on? My computer is weirding out. Yeah, apparently the gun, when it's released as well, is going to use totally different pressures and everything. So it's going to be lower pressure than the gun they're actually using at the tournament. It kind of looks ugly. How does it look ugly? You can't even see it. I do know that the foregrip is prototype, and the body has not been milled, so we can't really see anything. Yep. One thing that I'm kind of disappointed about, I think that I've heard, is that they are going to keep that frame. So the frame that they do have on these prototype guns will be the same frame that they are using on the production models. And it's the same frame that they've had forever. So it's the same frame on the G6R, the Victory, and the Onslaught, and like whatever. All those Bob Long guns from like the last 8-ish years. Really 10 years. 9 years. 9 years. Are going to use that old frame. Which is fine. I don't really have a problem with that trigger frame. I don't know. It's a new gun, so I kind of wish they'd just make something new. Yeah. It definitely, Alfonso says, marker camo, like car prototype camos. Yep. Yeah, they're using that same, they're trying to use that, like, I don't know, crazy pattern you see when you see, like, cars that aren't released driving around. Let's go back to this. Andrew, hey, Brad. What's the best bore size to get in the one-piece CP barrel? Corey, hello. I would say if you have one barrel option, I would say 689. Yeah. Here's why. So I think that paintballs are probably going to fit the 684 better, right? Like if you have, 10 brands of paint, maybe they'll fit that 685 better. They'll fit that smaller bore better, but it's not versatile at all. So like for some reason, if it's cold outside, you're going to break a bunch of paint if you have that smaller one. So maybe you want to go up a size. You can't. You've already got the real small one. So I like that bigger board just because it's more versatile. Tyler and Carl say smaller. Yeah, and smaller is like the right answer to make it just fit the paint, but it's not versatile at all. So I prefer that more versatile thing. And I'm not huge on matching paint either. I don't think it makes like the biggest difference ever, so that's how I go. Yep. I feel like this chat slows down. Whenever I like talk about topics, the chat always stops. And then I go to look at the chat for things to talk about and no one's saying anything. So if anyone's got any cool questions for me, I've pretty much run the course with all the topics that I would like to talk about, or things that I at least had like planned or whatever to talk about. So if someone wants me to talk about something else, shoot. Hey Brian, I hope you're well. I might start working at a paintball store. You can come by and see me at a new paintball store. I hope you're well. Really, man. Zevo? I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know what to know. X Zevo. I'm going with Zevo. $2. Thank you, sir. I don't want this to play. We're going to turn that off. Thank you. You said hello from Nebraska. I have much family from Nebraska. From like Lincoln, Nebraska, Geary, Nebraska, Lindsay, Nebraska. That area. I have not been there since I was 6, though, so I couldn't take it. But thank you. Cornhuskers, right? Woo! Joe with $1.99. Thank you, sir. Buy a cup of coffee, man. Thanks. I wish coffee was $2 still. I don't know how much this is. I should figure that out. I make this at home. This is cold brew at home. Because I'd be poor. Brian, you've been injured? Dude, I hear you. My back has been injured since December. Figured it out yesterday. December 22nd was the day that I injured my back. It's been a long one. Australia is still number 1. Yeah, you're still number 1. If you're still watching this, you're crazy. But yeah, still number 1. Sydney. What was I looking at Australia stuff? I don't know. I know a lot about Australia for not ever being there. I don't know. What happens to Lurker Paintball? I don't know. I want a version 4 Eigen Barrel, but I can't find them anymore. See how I pronounced Eigen right? I did a video and I kept saying Enigma. I would be like, the Enigma Barrel. And I'm like, nope, it's Eigen. Eigen. I don't think I have any of those. This is a version 3 Eigen Barrel. Joe, again, with $4.99. I appreciate it, sir. I said you can't even buy coffee with $2, and I was like, that was kind of rude. So you really can't, though. I mean, can you? Maybe you can. I'm somewhere you can. I felt like that was rude. I'm sorry. I appreciate that. A second. I really do. Yeah, so this is an Eigen Barrel. I don't really know why I have this. Never used it. I made a barrel with this. I made a video with that barrel about those barrels. So, is the XLS worth the money? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. You could ask yourself if any of these paintball guns. The only gun that's probably really worth it is the EMEC. You want to buy this off me? Well, I don't know. I wasn't gonna sell it, but I will if you want it. I have no idea what to sell this for. It's a 687. One thing that I do want to do, when I review all these products, like when I say this barrel, right, or like I don't know, what was the video that came out last week? I don't know. Whenever I get these products, normally I borrow them. So I'll just, because I have a couple of friends that have stores, so I'll take stuff from them and borrow it for a couple weeks and then give it back, and then they just do whatever they want with it. Sometimes I buy this stuff at cost, at cheap paintball store price or whatever, my old paintball store pricing, and then I just resell it to the paintball store and just break even. Sometimes I sell the stuff. But one thing I really would like is if this channel was big enough and I didn't have to sell the stuff, you know? If I bought the stuff at cost, or if, say, a company gives me something to use or review or whatever, I wish I could just keep it all and have hordes of paintball stuff. Someone asks a question and they're like, oh, what about these pants? And I'm like, well, let's see. And I can just go get them. That would be awesome. But I cannot do that. I watch some of these tech YouTuber people and they keep all the phones they review and stuff. That's craziness. I would love to be able to do that. Have a box full of barrels. I'm like, God, these are all the barrels that came out in the last 7 years. It's just a box. They're all sorted by manufacturer. It would be great. It would be fantastic. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. Joey Bluth. Why are we talking about Joey Bluth? Is he still coaching? Is he still coaching Mutiny? Whatever happened to that? I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. Hey Brad, is the headbands you make, are they a thick padding like Bunker King? Certainly not. No. Some of them used to be thick padding, and I don't like that actually, because I find when I wear most of this stuff I'm making, so this hat or my headbands or shirts, I'll wear it all. I like it all, right? So I didn't like the previous headbands. I haven't liked some of the shirts I've made, so from now on, everything that I'm making is all stuff that I'm gonna like. So I didn't like those really thick headbands, because I find when I put my mask on, the headband's so goddamn thick, it pushes my mask off my face. It just doesn't make my mask feel stable. So I don't like those thick headbands for that reason. So mine are going to be the same thickness as the Exalt ones, most of the HK ones, the real Sandana stuff, whatever. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that they're thick. I mean, they have a little bit of protection, but I wouldn't say that they're padded and thick, you know, because that's not really what I was going for. I just want something on my head, have a little bit of forehead protection, and then, you know, kind of help some sweat situation going on. Paintball. can't really do that. I mean, we get say XD. I don't know how to like internet say that. What do you suggest for a new tourney player to do? Good lord. I don't know. That's a vague ass question. Like what let's say what tips do I have for a new tournament player? I would work on fundamentals. I think those are the things that you can actually learn quickly, right? And when I say fundamentals, that means gun skills. So like running and shooting, snap shooting, laning, simple, skills. Like if you were like, I want to get better at basketball, you're probably not going to like just go play 5-on-5. You're going to like work on layups and work on, your three-pointer and like work on getting rebounds and like that stuff. So think about those basic fundamental skills and just try to improve on those. Even when you're out playing like, rec ball or whatever, you can try to, I'm only going to shoot left-handed. And I'm only going to shoot with my right hand, I don't know, one ball or I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah. Work on fundamental skills. Because that's the stuff that can like help paintball. Not help paintball. help your individual skill. And it's easy to get better at that stuff. I mean, you could substantially improve if you want to. Yeah. So try that. Someone said make a hat that says make paintball great again. I am not going to do that. That's not happening. I don't know, man. What we can do as humans is like bring each other together and like, we're all just humans. Like we're all the same people. We all want the same things. So I'm not going to do things that are divisive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know if I have anything else like... I'm going to go back to this. There's Ryan. Yeah, I don't have anything else planned. Look at it on there. So I don't know, maybe we could scroll up because these questions have just stopped getting questions. I don't know. Tried buying one from Black Friday, but they ended up giving me a discount on Ether 2 instead. Mistake on my part? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you got. I think Ether 2 is a fantastic paintball gun. Michael L. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Palmer's. I'm thinking of building a cocker. Coo. Who can tell me where that's from? So I'm happy you finally, I know, tell me about it. It started yours. Tell me about it. I was talking about it for like a year. No, not a year, maybe like 8 months. That's not too long. 8 months? I don't know. Why not Palmer's parts? Question mark. Love AKA stuff, but not cheap. Yeah, so Palmer's, because I did think about some Palmer stuff. I can't remember what Palmer stuff was I looking at. I can't remember. So I think like if I were to buy Palmer's pneumatics, it would or buy Palmer's parts for an autococker, it would probably be pneumatics. And I just like the newer pneumatics, right? Like they're just better. Like the Inception pneumatics are better than the Palmer's pneumatics. They just are. Like the Ram's better, the three-way certainly better. And that's not to say the Palmer stuff's bad. I just like the more modern, refreshed pneumatics, we'll say. And like I said, I kind of made that video, and I said I liked the older style stuff, and I do, but not the pneumatics, right? Like, it's like kind of like classic cars, right? If I'm going to buy like a car from the 60s and make it cool, I'm probably not going to put drum brakes on it. I'd probably try to get like good upgraded brakes and stuff. So, kind of like that. We're upgrading the engine, sort of, or something like that. So yeah, I wanted those newer parts. I also was looking at AKA stuff, but so what happened with this is that with this build is that I made a list of the parts I wanted. So I was like, I want Inception pneumatics. I want the Meteor body. I want yada yada whatever parts. And Inception gave me parts, right? So they were free. And Meteor gave me parts. And then I contacted AKA to try to get a bolt and then some other stuff. And then they just, I don't know, was not responsive. So I wasn't really sure if I could buy stuff from them even. I don't know. It's super confusing. So I was just like, whatever, and didn't buy AKA stuff. Because I wanted an AKA inline reg, and then I wanted an AKA trigger plate. But I don't know. I thought AKA went out of business, and I was all confusing, and I didn't have the money anyway. So I was like, whatever. I already have regulators and triggers and all that stuff. So it was easier just not to buy the stuff. So yeah, I wanted to use Jake. That took a while. I wanted to use AKA stuff, but I was like, it's freaking expensive. And it's like the valve. I wanted to buy the AKA valve, and I was like, $75? I was like, God damn, is it really going to be any different? Probably not. Probably not. Paintball XD. Sorry, it took me a while to get through that question. Thoughts on DMG and thoughts on DSR? Like thoughts on the team and the gun? I don't know if I have thoughts on DMG. I think of DMG because they're like local. So I don't think of DMG like you guys. I think of DMG and I think of like the pro team, the semi-pro team, the 3 D4 teams or whatever they have, and like the 8 D5 teams. I think of DMG like that. I got no problem with DMG when I think of them like that. The pro team did better than I expected. I think that at the start of this year, they lost Thomas Kim and Tim Russellback. Thomas to the Ironman, Tim Russellback to Impact. And I think me, for sure, and other people kind of expected them not to do as well this year because they lost their 2 best players. And they've had guys step up. You've seen Josh Hallberg, he's really good. Marvin's played really well. Joe Barrett's played really well. Av's played really well. Their whole team's played well. So it's impressive. Yeah. The DSR. I like the DSR. We did a whole video on the DSR on this channel. I'm a fan of the DSR. I think that if I was going to buy a die gun right now, it would probably be DSR. Yeah, so I don't know. The DMG. Rennick with a crazy long comment. The AKAT valve is only useful if you use a really lightweight bolt and backplug. And an expansion chamber? What? An expansion chamber? Well, I don't know who uses expansion chambers, so nobody is going to use the AKA valve. Maybe you mean volumizer. That might be what you mean. I don't even know if you can buy an expansion chamber anymore. Anyway. Autocockers. I kind of thought that, like, so the very first video I did, this cocker build, I kind of talked about Camille and like Glenn Palmer designing this paintball gun called Camille that sort of morphed into the autococker. I thought there was going to be like a bunch of drama and people talking hella shit and like getting all weird on there. That didn't happen, thankfully. This next video in this autococker build series part 4, we're going to cover pretty much everything else that's left. So we're going to see inline regulator. I'm looking at stuff down there. Inline regulator, frame. So like trigger sear, on off, macro line, barrels. That's kind of all that's left, and then the gun's pretty much done. I think that instead of me dedicating an entire video to like a actual timing of the thing, I think that I'll just do a live stream. I think that I would like to at like 2 in the afternoon or something like that. We'll set this camera up like this. And then have like a top-down view, and then we're just gonna build an autococker. I think that's probably what'll happen. And I'll probably have some stuff pre-adjusted. Like reg pressure and stuff like that, so that it'll make it like go together pretty snappy. Yeah. What is the difference between a super cocker and a normal one? I don't know. One's called super. I mean, literally, probably, that's all. There really isn't a difference. With another $2. It's appreciated. Anyone in chat willing to trade my DSR for a 3.5? Probably not. That's probably going to be a hard ask. You're probably not going to have anyone do that. I appreciate the $2 for advertising, though. Probably not going to happen. If you guys would like to chat more about paintball stuff, there is... See, is this not looping? I keep, like... There we go. If you want to talk more, there is a Discord chat invitation link in the description of this video. Supercocker equals... I don't know what word that is. CSR worked on it would take too long to say all damn there. Yep. I know it was like a cocker back in the day, though, right? But wasn't it like, it's really nothing. It's just like a cocker. It's not like, that's like me calling like the EMEC, like the Bago EMEC, and then like, you know, all of a sudden everyone that I sell is called the Bago EMEC. You know? I don't know. Who knows? Please tell people, yeah, so that's true. Jake just said that if you want to ever join the Facebook group for this, you have to answer the questions to be invited. They're very easy. It just says you agree to the rules. And by the way, Jake, I made the very first question. It says you have to answer these questions or you will not be added. And then the second question is read the rules. And then the second question is, are you sure you read the rules? That's funny. So, yeah, mainly because I noticed that in that Facebook group, there's about 7,000 people something, maybe around there in the Facebook group that's related to this channel. And I want that to be a place where people can come and talk about paintball. And I noticed about 2 weeks ago, somebody posted something that they made that they were very proud of. Not proud of, I don't know. They just posted a picture of it, like, hey, look what I did. And everyone was like, that's stupid. That's retarded. You're dumb. Whatever. Just a bunch of negative comments. And it's like, man, the guy was just excited about paintball, so he posted this to talk about paintball. And then everyone just made him look stupid. It's like, why? Okay, so now that he looks dumb, he's never going to post again. And then what makes him feel like he's going to ever play paintball? Like, all these people just hate on him hella bad when he says something. So my goal is to reduce all of the negativity in the Facebook group. So I'm gonna start banning people. I've made rules. There's a rule that's like simply don't be a jerk or you'll be banned. Because I realized that like I'm in charge of this thing, right? Like this whole Facebook group, it's got my brand name on it. And if these people were like in a group that I was in real life, right? Like say I have, there's a group of 100 people and then like someone says something and 10 people just start talking shit to them and they're like, you're dumb. Those people would not be in my group in real life. Those 10 people would be out and I would never speak to them again. So that's how I would like to treat this Facebook group. A real life group of people that I know. So if you're an idiot, you're going to get banned. It's that easy. I hate logging in or going on to something that like I'm associated with and it just being a bunch of shit. Yeah. I even thought about changing the name of the group just because I don't really want it to be associated with it. So yeah. You go into all the other Facebook groups for paintball, and it's just so bad. We talk about like why paintball's dying and like how can we grow paintball. Not being an asshole to all the people on the internet is probably a good place to start. Anyway, who am I ranting? You traded your mini GS for an Empire EVS and a Ninja 50-4500 Lite for a Shocker RSX with XLS internals. Good deal. Yeah, but you can't have XLS internals, so that I'm curious about. Yeah, sort of. Good deal? That's probably fair. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like good. It's probably the correct amount or correct trade valuation. XLS board. Yeah, it just says XLS when it boots up. It's the same board. I don't know. Yeah, same board. Because you can't put the internals in there because the bolt is longer on the XLS. It just physically won't go in. Mike Phillips. It hurts the most players. It hurts that most players complain about the NXL prizes, then shun local and regionals who have better prizes and cost. It's sad. Yeah, so one thing I was thinking about today is how the NXL keeps talking about how like they have more players than ever and like the league's better and bigger than ever. Why? Is it because there's less regional tournament leagues and there's like less local stuff, so these people are being forced to go to national tournaments? I think that's more probably what we're seeing, is that like there's an uptick in teams in the NXL because there's less options regionally, so they're kind of forced to go play at the NXL. I think that might be a possibility. Who knows though? Chris Morris says, if you had a PAL loader and stock Ether 2 barrel, would you spend your $200 on an AccuLock barrel or Aspire 3? Here's what I would do, sir. I would... Man. Thinking. So I would probably go Spire IR. This is what I would do. Spire IR. And then I'm trying to think of like a good barrel. Yeah. So you want to get a barrel. Let's try to say like Spire IR. And then... Man, there's not really a good... At this point in time, there's not a good... So let's see. Let's see if they're still selling these things. I don't even know if these are for sale anymore. I know we can't buy them anymore, but some people might have them still. So... Yep. So this is not typical advice from Brad. But this is what I would do. I would look for Super Freak. There's a couple ways to do this. Super Freak Juniors. So Super Freak Juniors, or the Freak Junior. It's a barrel, either Empire, the Super Freak Junior, or GOG. It's just going to make the Freak Junior. Just a two-piece barrel is going to come with one or two inserts. No, just really one insert. One or three inserts, really. And it's going to range from $75 to $110. And then you put a Spire IR in there, and then you're at about $200, and you have a good barrel and a good hopper. I would do that. If you're set on spending $200 on a hopper or $200 on a barrel, I would probably rather have a good barrel. Or good hopper, I'm sorry. I don't know, man. Because the barrel on those guns... Wait, which... Yeah. That's probably what I would do. Or keep that stock barrel and just buy a Spire 3. Because the stock barrels aren't too bad. But I think I would rather have the Freak barrel and a Spire IR. That's me. I don't know. Do I think AC will win a tournament this year? I would really, really, really like AC Dallas to win a tournament or a tournament this year. I think they're due. I think this could have been their time. But it wasn't, unfortunately. Justin says a brand new Z2 for $70. Yeah, my problem with I like the Z2. I think the Z2 it was a good loader in its time. But then when the level came out and now the Spire IR's out, it's like, man, I don't know, the level and the Spire are quite a bit better than both of those, and they're not that much more money. So yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. If I had to choose between barrel and good hopper, though, it'd probably be good hopper. So I don't know. Joe Beck, eBay has a magnetic trigger for the Ether 2. Yeah, do they? The Ether 2 trigger does kind of suck. I mean, that's for sure the worst part about it. For sure the worst part about it. Pinocchio speeds. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience with the speed. I should probably try to get one of those. They're so old. It's weird how it's like back. Like, that hopper's like, what, 5 years old? And then all of a sudden it's like back because Dynasty's using it. And like Dynasty has a weird relationship with HK. And like HK bought it. And then like ANS might own HK. And like, it's all weird, guys. Hey. Shrek Dog, that's no problem. Howdy, you stay the whole friggin' time. You're in Australia. I have no idea what time it is there. It's a big country, so I know there's time zones. But I don't know. How many time zones are in Australia? Four time zones, just like America. I kind of thought so. Oh man, there's more than 4. Oh gosh, Australia's got a lot of time zones. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. I don't know. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. You're good. It's 7 o'clock. Anyway, okay, guys. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I hope we kind of had some stuff planned. If you, like, for some reason skipped to the end of this and you're watching it on demand, there's a bunch of cool things we talked about 4 minutes into this, 5 minutes into it. It's much appreciated, guys. Everyone who came by, if you super chatted, yeah, amazing. You're going to see a video Monday on a pair of Virtue paintball pants called the Breakout Pants that are pretty new. And then Wednesday, another autococker build video. So if you want to see that, make sure come back